Yes, people. Welcome back to United View. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Red Carpet Show.
Jesus.
Sounded a bit underground. You had it, but it was a bit, don't know.
It was loud for me. That was like real. That's like...
Okay, all right. It just doesn't sound like it's in HD. It doesn't sound...
It sounded a bit
crisp. I don't know if you've got it. Now you're frozen.
Now he's frozen.
I don't really know what's going on.
You're
having a bit of a stinker. You're gone. This is brilliant. This is perfect. I'm glad this has happened to you. He's gone. He's frozen. Look, he's done.
Yeah, man. He's deep in life.
Look at that. You see that? I used to be like that. I used to be like, now look at you, nervously looking around. Am I back? Can they hear me? Can they see me? He doesn't know.
So many tabs open. Oh, he's in trouble.
Shut some of them tabs. Get the M4, bro. Shut some tabs.
Yeah. I had the editing software open because I released something without sound. So, yeah, had to go and just make sure. Had to close that. Am I back?
Hey, bro, you're trying to do the export. Yeah. You're trying to do the export with the sound.
It's exploited. Just the
machine can't cope, bro. You need that bigger machine. Shout out everyone anyway. Welcome back to the Red Carpet Show. Shout out Saeed. Shout out KG Comedian. Shout out Owen Wrestle News 365. Shout out Adam, who's not going to be with us today, actually. We can't make the show. Boo. Shout out to him though. And shout out to the winner of the SCA Awards, Alice. Football.
Thank you guys.
Alice talks football, and she also talks W. She talks trophies because you are a winner, Alice.
Like Ten Hag, a win. Win trophies.
What did you? It's big congratulations, man. We're really pleased for you. What did you get? What was it? Talk to us.
So yeah, I got the gold award. So I won that one for best in video, which was pretty amazing. So thank you to everyone that voted. And then I also came away with 2 silver awards, actually. So you guys voted really good this time. I thought I'll plug it on the Twitter, see what happens. But you guys came through, I have to say. That was best Premier League club content creator or something like that. And then best influencer one, which was quite surprised I was even nominated for that one. So big up everybody who came through.
Alice talks football. Well done. You deserve it. 100%.
Trophies.
Alice talks trophies, mate. You've been putting in a lot of work, and it's great to see. You're very near 100K. Where are you at now?
97.9K, I think.
Oh, you're going to do it.
Soon land.
Hoping to hit it by 2025.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
That's
keep pushing. So, as we always say on this show love to every single person's channel. Alice Talks Football, she's only a few away from 100K, which is fantastic. Saeed's broken that. I mean, he's on 120 something now, so just keep pushing on his channel. KG's at he's coming towards the 50 now.
50, bro.
He's at the half a century. It's on its way. It's on its way up. Do you know what I'm saying? Owen Wrestle News 36555.
We're going to hit it in 2045. We're going to do it 2045. We're going to hit that number. Oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be big.
Everyone is on their settings, and obviously Forever United as well. So show a lot of love to everybody's channels, man. Everyone deserves all the accolades because everyone here is doing their stuff. They're working hard, and guess what? We're all growing together, and that's brilliant to see. Speaking of growing together, that's what we want our team to do with our new head coach, and we've had our first game with Ruben Amorim. Is there any chats to get out yet? No, there isn't. So we're up to date. There's no super chats as of yet. Get your chats in, get your members chats, get your super chats in. We got to talk, man. You know, Amorim's called for patience. He did look frustrated. The pictures are going around of some of the things where you can tell he went, bloody hell. Bloody hell. This is I knew I got a big job, but okay, cool. I'm locked in. There was some of the pictures did look like that. He spoke really well after the game until Ed Sheeran, the disgrace and cheat, interrupted him. But he said sorry. So he said sorry. But
did he? Has he apologized now?
He done a full.
It was a dead apology. He goes, I didn't see them filming there.
He's thinking about that big Man United fan base that he doesn't want to lose in it.
Yeah, they're gonna come to my tour. Exactly, they're gonna come to a tour.
I can't believe he caused such an outcome.
I know. To be fair though, I was loving it on DR because they're like, oh, he's like, oh, has he apologized? This is utter woke nonsense. I was like, he should apologize. Big man talking about big football, big Ruben. Nah, bro, you got your tour thing on the shirt, so we know where your thing is. You're a minority shareholder. Your thing's plastered. We know who you are, bro. This is Amorim.
Who you are? Facts.
Let's apologize to the big man. It's Man United. Hated, adored, never ignored, mate.
Never ignored. He tried to ignore us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just wasn't thinking out loud at the time, was he, guys?
Yo, that deserves it, man. What are you doing, KG? You need to give him a...
Hit it, KG, man.
Oh, my God.
No, we haven't that. We having that? No.
I'm having that. Yeah, I'm having
Flex
that.
what do you call it? Flex used to say, what do you say about his legs? About when your legs don't work like you can piss off.
I said it on the spot. Something stupid like that anyway. But I actually like Ed Sheeran as well, but no, not over the new manager move, man. But he said sorry, so I like him again now. Anyway, Saeed, what did you see? How did you feel?
What I felt is that we've got to give respect to Onana. You get me? Like, that's what I came out of the ground thinking. No, well, just watching the game on the stream is that Onana deserves massive props, man. And I feel like we all cussed Onana out. And I think rightly so, to be honest with you, because
he was moving, man.
He kind of messed us up in the Champions League. But I generally think for me, he deserves his praise. He's probably one of the best keepers in the league in terms of on form right now, if you're being true honest with yourself. And you know what, man? He made some really, really good saves yesterday. And I mean, like, we're not talking about, like, you know, them kind of saves where you're like, oh, but he's expected to. We're talking about some proper saves.
They're unreal.
Unreal saves, bro. And I felt like for me, and I think Amorim kind of alluded to that as well, like, if we didn't have him, it would have been a different scoreline. And I think we're to come out there with a point, bro. I'll be real with you. Like, as much as we're all frustrated, you know what I mean? Obviously, the next day, you kind of almost understand that, you know what? A point wasn't a bad result, man, considering how much they peppered us, you know, in terms of the XG and all of that stats you can talk about. But yeah, man, a lot of trial and error, which is fair. I mean, you know, Amorim's gonna think about that. But all in all, you know, a few square pegs in round holes for me, but he'll learn that and he'll understand that. But first training session or two training sessions he had to pick players that were available, and ultimately, you know, there's a lot of learning curve, and he's going to have to understand that this league is not the same as the Portuguese league. He's going to, you know, and it's the demand. It's that a game like Ipswich, who Kieran McKenna wanted the job last year, was playing like, yo, I should have been manager. I should have been my United manager. He played like that, bro. He was determined. His substitutions were on point, and they gave us a tough time, man. It was a tough game, man. You know, I predicted 2-1. I don't know if you guys predicted, but
I predicted the same. 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. I predicted a very, very, you know, close game. And it was that, man. It literally, Ammad Diallo block, it could have went in. They had a chance, could have been in. So, yeah, man. I think for me, frustrating, but a lot of lessons learned, man. And one that we're going to have to suffer. I did say on the show that it will get worse before it gets better. And I think he's ready for that, the manager. And I'm glad he's ready for it, because had he wanted the kind of almost manager bounce and that feeling, then it would have been, we wouldn't know where we're going. So the fact that he's ready to suffer, and we as fans need to be ready to suffer, then we know that we're going to go in the right direction eventually. And then that's
he said that himself. He said that himself, didn't he? He said when he came out and said, look, if it was just about results, and look, football, the currency of football is results and trophies. But he said if it was just about results, I'd go in and basically say, you're used to 4-2-3-1, play on the counter attack, just do that. And that's how we can get a result quickly. But to Saeed's point, if you sort of try and implement this system now and suffer through it, like he said, in a year's time, you should theoretically not have these problems anymore, because you've gone through the tough parts and the tough stages. And even his post-match press conference and the way he was talking after the match, I thought was absolutely fascinating, because he was giving examples of not only of why why they were overthinking. He was like, well, for instance, use Dallo as an example. He said, well, he's been used now for however many years to playing like, right, if you play fullback, you're playing almost midfield because you're an inverted fullback, get in the midfield. I'm telling him to do completely opposite. I'm saying, hold your position, stay out wide, get up and down. And I know that to us as fans, you're like, well, why can't they do that? Why it seems so simple. But you know, during a game when stuff's happening, you're like, am I meant to be going into midfield here? Am I meant to be tracking that runner? What am I supposed to be doing there? Like, it felt like when you play like Football Manager or FIFA, and you've only got a certain amount of players and it goes chemistry like halfway and you go, this isn't going to be great, is it? You know, that's what it felt like yesterday, and that's what you saw. So I think In a weird way, I think the performance and the result, actually, that might be the best thing for us, moving forward, actually. Because if we had one, obviously, it would be great. And we'd be going, Amorim ball, fantastic. But like we saw the reality of the situation. We didn't get like a false perception of reality yesterday. Like if we'd have won 2-0, we'd be like, see, it's great. You'd have been like, is it great? You know what I mean? Whereas
it was a very accurate perception of reality.
Exactly.
That is exactly what we are.
Exactly.
And those are the exact problems that we're going to have. I agree. I agree with you. Alice, what did you see from yesterday's performance?
Yeah, so I completely agree with everything that's been said, particularly Saeed pointing out Onana. I thought he was fantastic. I saw a statistic earlier today that out of the 140 goalkeepers that are featured in Europe's top 5 league, Onana is ranked second for XG preventing over 4 goals already this season with the saves he's been making. And I think if you take away the Champions League campaign, which was a big if because that was shambolic, he's actually been all right for United. I thought at the back end of last season he pulled through. I think he's been getting better and I've been impressed with him, and I think he deserves a bit more credit than he gets because I think people still just remember the Champions League horror and stuff. I think there's areas of his game, when he kicks it long sometimes, but I thought he was fantastic and I think he's the reason we came away with a point. I think Ipswich had the better chances and probably could have just nicked that 2-1. But I thought that we were better in the second half. I think we controlled the ball a bit better. I think the first 5 minutes, scored a goal 2 minutes in. The goal we scored was like how Ruben Amorim was setting us up in training, actually, which is quite interesting, the way we played. So we saw an identity for 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, which isn't good enough, but we saw it. But the biggest issue was the lack of legs in midfield. Eriksen, Casemiro was getting run around. I think Agate, Casemiro works better because Agate's got the legs, so that takes that pressure off Casemiro a bit. But I understand Eriksen because how he keeps the ball a bit nicer than Agate. I get it. But I felt the lack of legs in midfield was a massive problem in that first half. Because we couldn't really play around the Ipswich press. The middle wasn't involved. When we were progressing the ball, it was going out wide. I think Ammad and Mazraoui were probably the 2 best players actually progressing the ball. I think Mazraoui was fantastic at right centre-back, actually. It's just the fact that he can play anywhere and he's unbelievable. I mean,
he's so reliable, isn't it? He's so reliable no matter where you
million quid or something. And playing out from the back was unbelievable yesterday. Mazraoui, Ammad and Onana were unbelievable. Were really good yesterday. I think the rest could step up. To be honest, I mean, Rashford got 1 chance, scored his goal. I guess he'd done his job on paper. There wasn't really much going for him, but we just lacked a little bit of chance creation. I think some of it was down to decision making. I think Garnacho had the ball in a couple of good areas, and I think he could have done better. I think Delo had a ball played through to him once. I think there was elements of decision making that wasn't good, but we were lacking creating the chances. And I think I saw something online that this was the second least amount of ground Man United had covered in a game this season as well.
Yeah.
So I think the lack of intensity, the ground coverage is an issue that you can't blame Amorim for. I wasn't expecting Amorim to play prime Pep Guardiola ball because I said these are the players, we don't have the legs. There's a clear personnel issue there. But what I'm hoping Amorim can do is get us to create more chances by maybe doing small things. As good as Ammad was at right wing back, I think he needs to be in the 10. I think he needs to be closer to goal because I felt that the front 3 weren't influencing the game. And if we can create more chances, hopefully we'll improve.
Yeah, I think some of the things we've been saying, as the time goes on, that sort of conveyor belt will move along so that basically they can all go round one. So if you look at where Mazraoui will go round one and then probably end up at right wing back when we get other players back, which should help force Ammad forward, hopefully. I mean, maybe Ruben looked at that and said, well, that kid can play there. I really like that. I'm going to work on him there. We don't know. We really don't know. Because Ammad actually, although we want him further forward, and I 100% agree, he actually proved that I can take on these instructions and I can be effective. If you want me to be right wing back in this system, I can defend. Yes, they got in once and they got a big chance for it where they should have scored. But that was the only time. Other times he got back in. He put tackles in that made it go out for a corner or a throw in and stuff like that. Done his defensive duty. The first second of the game, he went forward. He got an assist. Second half, he cut in. That could have got blocked. He showed he can take on the instruction. But I agree. I think he should be further forward. I think that my biggest concern is I think there's actually a few easy wins as players come back. When you got Euro, when you got Martinez, when you got a fit Luke Shaw, Malacia, a fit Kobe Mainu, Ugate's fresh. They're easy players to put in. That three at the top of whether it's the three attackers, whoever it's going to be, that's our biggest problem, I think. And like the left, I know the left side, like that's our biggest problem.
A question about this, and I was going to direct it to KG because I know he'll get excited about this, right? So I don't know if you guys have seen in the last hour, Florian Plettenberg has tweeted that Victor Boniface is one of many strikers on Manchester United's shortlist. Now, the 23-year-old top striker, he's currently injured, is under contract with Bayer Leverkusen until 2028. But Man United are actively scouting the striker market. If no new striker arrives in the winter, they plan to secure one by the summer at the latest, they're saying. KG, I suppose, two-pronged question here. One, do you agree with what Flex is saying about we're going to need to go into the market again for a striker? And two, what would your reaction be if it was a 23-year-old Nigerian international?
You can't, it's so crazy. It's one of them ones where, like, it's how Flex felt about Sterling, just having a Nigerian at the club. But then it's one of those ones when you say, Osimhen though, like, if I'm gonna go for someone, I'm probably gonna go for him because I don't know how much money it's gonna cost now. But then, like, it clearly didn't go well. His relationship with Napoli isn't the greatest. I would more be interested in that one. He looks like he's rediscovering his form and finding himself again. The confidence is back. He stunk up the place at AFCON. But again, sometimes you might want to go for these players that stink it up for their countries, but then they're really good at club football. I think we go the other way. Most of our players, brilliant for their internationals. But when they come and play for us, we just get nonsense. We literally just don't get that. But then there was a couple things that I was really wanted to talk about, and it's more so I felt the disappointment from the manager yesterday in the players and their willingness to run. And I don't know if he has to go into the youth academy and just say to just promote some of these kids, because if you lot are not going to run these, I don't want to call them criminals, yeah, but then we've seen this before. I don't understand how you run less, yeah, for your new manager. I said 4-1, guys. Now, the reason why I said 4-1 in that game is crazy.
That's crazy.
Right.
I thought new manager bounce.
You're not beating the
no one smashed him up there.
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't matter. No, I just thought new manager bounce. I thought new manager, these guys have got something to prove and they're going to be on it. But they were shell-shocked and scared. They were scared. They were honestly scared. Like, why can't Man United beat Ipswich 4-1? I know it sounds crazy, but that's not good. We should be expecting that. These guys are bottom of these guys, it's not like they were organized, but Man United made them look like prime Barcelona. It felt like
and they're a good team, man. They're a good team, you know.
I don't think we made them look like prime Barcelona.
No, but they've
done that. They've done that at home against a couple of sides. They did that to Villa. To Villa at home, they did that too.
I'm with you. I'm saying Man United, guys. Yes, it is. We're talking about playing a team called Ipswich, bro. Man United should be at a space in that. I'm with you, but you don't understand this.
Fans like you are the problem. Fans like you.
Yeah. No, we don't have a divine right to outplay Ipswich away.
No one respects us anymore, bro. That old Man United just rock up.
It don't work anymore like that, bro. I can't lie to you. I would love to say that.
It's not like this.
I can't expect goals against Ipswich.
No, but you can expect goals, but you got to get to them goals, innit? You got to have
wait. So you're telling me I can't expect goals versus Ipswich? That's what we're saying. We scored the least goals in the Premier League, and we're supposed to have, in air quotes, we got players that are swanning around on 300+ K a week, bro. And I'm telling you, I got one moment from Rashford, then he went to sleep. I got Garnacho, youth product, and I'm hoping for him to turn it on. But I expect more from this team, bro. These guys are on big salaries, and they should be doing more. I should expect more from Bruno. I should expect for them to be able to pass and not break it down or being worried against bottom Ipswich, bro. Even if you talk about just the standards and stuff, who the team apparently is, because when people say, well, guess what? Ten Hag wasn't getting the best out of these because some of these are good players. But now we've almost regressed and said, actually, no, these guys are not good players. So which one is it?
So wait a minute, this was interesting because this is what you were saying last season, wasn't it, Cage? You remember when you had the big argument with Flex inside UVHQ and it was like, about whether or not what was the team? Was it Burnley at
Wigan.
the time? Oh, no, because it was the US inside UVHQ, and it was like this team is no better than Burnley.
No, it's Burnley.
Basically.
Yeah, it was Burnley.
This team knows better than Burnley, and I don't know. Was it Flex you saying that they are or we are, and KG were like you're not? But now you're saying KG that we should be beating Ipswich because they're better players than Ipswich.
No, because I'm saying we've gone on this journey though. We've gone on this journey with Ten Hag, right? We said Ten Hag, these are good players. Ten Hag's not getting the best from them, right? That's what we were saying just not too how many moons ago, right? And now we're at a stage when we're saying, no, actually, these are good players. But then now, yesterday, we looked at the game saying, actually, hey, there's only 4 or 5 players that are good here, and the rest are rubbish. We've inherited nonsense.
I think it's more the misprofiling with Ten Hag. For me, it wasn't that the players were crazy good, but I felt that the players were being misprofiled under Ten Hag. And it was like, okay, now Rashford's playing as a deep right mid to accommodate Garnacho as the left winger. Yeah. And then, you know, there was times where he'd even played Bruno out wide. Do you remember the beginning of last season? And then Maino was being asked to do all this ground coverage, but then wasn't being utilised in build-up when he's good at the ball. But then Agate, we brought in to do all this off-the-ball work, was then being the primary receiver in build-up when we played Maino and Agate together that one game. And then Casemiro was just being run out to dry in the DM role. For me, I think that I look at the players and I look at the athletic qualities of the players in the squad and even some of the technical ones, and I say that we are behind and we need to improve recruitment and we've burned 600 million, but everybody is fit. There's a better team than what we were seeing under Ten Hag, and I think you can get a better player out of Ammad. You can get a better player out of Rashford. Bruno Fernandes played his worst football under Ten Hag out of all the managers. Put Ruud van Nistelrooy in for 4 games. Look how much better Bruno was. For me, it was more the misprofiling of players where he was setting up Bruno in a role that didn't suit him. He was playing Rashford as a deep right mid at times to accommodate Garnacho. And it's just put your better players in better positions and profile them rightly. And if they don't perform, dive into the youth academy, give them a bit of competition. That's, for me, it's about profiling the players. I know that they aren't good enough to win a league or do anything crazy because of just we are getting outrun by every team. But I think it's how you use the players.
And my biggest concern is rather the strike. Yeah. Sorry, because like you were saying, there is the attacking options. Because yesterday I look at 2/3 of that team and I go, well, that back 3 that he played yesterday, we had 4 centre backs missing. You know, if those people are available, exactly. Euro comes in, Martinez comes in. Okay, suddenly that's different. Our 2 left full backs, that might be the wing backs. We have to wait and see. In Malacia and Shaw, they're just coming back from injury, so that's another part there. Then if those players are back, then it's Mazraoui and Dalot as the wing backs, and even midfield yesterday, he had Casemiro and Eriksen to start because Cobby's just come back from an injury. Mount's just come back from an injury. You know, we've got these. Ugate's just come back from international.
Can I say this?
Just wait, 2 seconds, KG. Just 2 seconds. But just then, my biggest worry with that is that actually, then when you look at our striking options, our attacking options, it's not as if we didn't have people available yesterday. We had our better players available in those positions, and that's going to be our biggest thing that comes unstuck this season. Because once again, we're going. All right, so our best attacking players are available yesterday. Who's scoring goals? Because I think you still see yesterday Rashford I think he looks like he's lost a yard or 2 of pace. I'm looking at Joshua Zirkzee, and we're knowing that again, he's not a number 9. Is he going to be a 10? We're still not really sure. And you're looking at Rasmus Højlund, and I'm still getting massive reservations about him is he that guy to, lead the line, score 15, 20 goals in the Premier League? I don't know. So then that's why for the 3rd consecutive summer, like Florian Plettenberg saying there, we're going into a window and our biggest sign is going to be a striker again. 3 seasons in a row, 3 summers in a row. And that's where we're going to suffer. We're going to suffer this season because of it.
But then my thing is, what I don't want to do under this manager, talking to my brother about this, we always say when this player comes back, we'll be better. When this player comes back. And that is the Man United way. We've been talking about when Luke Shaw's in, or when this centre-back returns, or when Euro finally gets here. We're always talking about this imaginary player that's going to come in and fix things. And that's why I wouldn't it's being real with ourselves and saying, well, no, who are those players that are good enough for Man United? Not even this whole when this guy, like Mazraoui is good now. He ain't waiting for another midfielder's return. He's being good as he is in himself. Ammad is good now. In a shit setup, he knew what to do. And now we're saying, well, where are the players that can swim ready in deep waters? Well, and then the other ones, discard them. Discard, no, because we keep saying one day. Maybe we're getting to a space where we say, hey, this day's not coming for some of these players. Some of these players, you're never gonna be ready for Man United.
When I said, I literally was saying on the streams, remember, a lot of our players aren't as good as we think they are. And then the argument then, when we were talking to Saeed, remember, we were going, well, we can't judge any of these until the new manager gets here. But I'm saying, that was my thing though, Kate. I was saying like, well, some of them you can judge already. Some of them you can look at with the eye test and go, it's a balance. Don't get me wrong. You can't completely write one off. I do get that. But I do agree with that sentiment, what KG's saying, of like, you have to look at some people with your true eyes, right? And some people who have been there for a long time as well, and go, are you going to go up levels and are we going to reach the summit with you? With Rashford, the answer's no. With Luke Shaw, the answer's no. With Harry Maguire, with Lindelof, with I don't know, even when if we really want to get into the nitty, with Casemiro, with Eriksen, the answer's no. With Dallo, don't know.
Dallo will be all right. Dallo will be all right.
I don't know, but you see what I'm saying though. Like the reason why I disagreed with KG just when you was basically saying, like, well, why we not beating Ipswich?
It's Ipswich.
Well, like the reason I'm not saying you shouldn't have standards. Like as United fans, our default setting is we should be challenging for the league, mate. Like we know that. Well, we've been saying that since 2012, since 2013. Like that's why we're not challenging for league. Why we're not in the Champions League every year competing. Like we know that we should be scoring loads of goals. We should be playing attacking football. So I do agree. Like don't completely lose that. But we have to look at this team, yeah, and this bunch.
What are you trying to say? 600 million down the drain?
Well, not all of it, because we're saying Onana's decent. You know, you're saying Mazraoui's there. You're saying you got Delit. That happens.
Yeah.
You're saying what Martinez is a good player. You're saying
Martinez getting injured now a lot, man.
Luke Shaw's gonna. I tell you now, yeah. You laughed at me, Saeed, yeah, and you said no chance in this. I'm telling you, Amorim's gonna like him, bro.
He was quite good yesterday.
Didn't like him. No, guys, let's not do this though. We don't know how long Luke Shaw's got, bro. It could be a Reece James. He could be on holiday. He could just be visiting just now.
After one game, we have to. This is after one game. What we can say, I know you're saying that we can't. Like after one game, when more players get back, KG. The reason why I'm saying you have to like say, well, the performance will improve when the better players come back. Like once we can get our squad out there, when you're injecting Yoro and you're injecting Mainu and you're injecting Ugarte and then actual wing backs, it's gonna get better. But that's why I started by saying that front three is a big concern because our strikers aren't good enough.
We didn't have players in there yesterday.
I need the inside 10.
Did you watch every press conference of Amorim yesterday? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, it will make you feel better, you know.
No, I feel good. I'm just saying, I feel good. I just know that I know the criminals, bro. And do you know what I don't want this to happen is this manager gets himself into a sticky, precarious place thinking these players are going to do something for him. Because some of them can't. Some of them just
criminals or they're just not good? If they're not good, does that make them criminals?
Well, I think when they don't run, and I think losing the ball the way we do lose the ball, it's really worrying.
So
you're at Man United, and you lot are learning.
An application or a quality thing? Is it application or talent? Do you think?
I think there's a lot of stuff with these. Literally, it's so hard to pinpoint. When I think of Rashford, Rashford has one really good quality, running in behind, but he's a bit slower now. Rashford can't hold the ball up, doesn't like to get physical. He can do one thing. Like I was actually looking at all these three players, and you want to build. If I could put Xerxes, Rasmus Højlund, and Rashford together, I'd have the striker I'm really looking for. Size of Xerxes, pace of Rashford with obviously.
You say pace of Rashford. You say pace of Rashford.
That's all right. That'll get me all the bro.
I don't know.
But then I'm saying I'll finally get someone, and then someone that's going to be a bit as physical as if you put them three together, you've kind of got some. But then what we have is these guys are individuals that just don't work. And that's it. That's an issue for me. And I'm thinking, well, who do we make the number 9? Because right now we're not going to probably buy anyone in January unless we bring someone in on loan. But we're going to need, you make it Rasmus,
I think I'll still stick with Rashford for me. Still stick with
But
Rashford.
Rashford was missing. Rashford was.
I don't put that down to him, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I put that down to the team and what was.
Yeah, I agree.
He made a couple of good runs yesterday. You guys did. He made some good runs yesterday.
Ericsson should have played him in. He was clean through,
bro. He made a good couple of runs, man. And Garnacho hogging on the ball. Rashford.
How many times are we gonna play teams where they're playing how many times are we gonna play teams that are giving us? Because usually they're gonna have they're gonna stop us. There's gonna be backs of 4, and it's gonna be hard for spaces to run in behind. So what do we do?
We have to suffer. We have to suffer, guys, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. We need this because you know what it is. This is gonna make the summer easier for us to iron out who's not good enough and who's good enough. For me, like, bring it on, because at the end of the day, we've been giving these players the platform to be like, you know what, it's all good, guys. And that's why Amorim said, yo, we can either take the easy route or the hard way. But we're going to know in a year's time, we're going to improve for the betterment of it. And that's why, for me, I'd rather suffer now than later on be a better team. Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm not really here for these guys to be starting next year, bro. And I've said it. I've said Rashford. I've said so many players that shouldn't be here next year. And you know what? If they get exposed, they get exposed. For me this year, top 6 in Europa League. That's my aims for this team. Top 4 is going to be a big, big push. The way that Brighton are playing, other teams are playing, it's going to be a tough push here. But for me, I just need to
swear down, you're not talking about top 4 anymore, Saeed.
Sorry?
You're not talking about top 4 no more.
I never once said top 4, though. I said top 6. Give me top 6 on Europa League. So for me, I'm looking at it from my point of view is that, you know what, like, let Amorim find out what he's going to do, let him understand it, and let him figure out why Garnacho should not be starting. You know what I mean? And he's not a 10. And how, for me, Dalot isn't working on that side, like Alice said. And there's so many, like, for me, I want Ammad in the 10. You know what I mean? And we need a bit more athleticism in midfield. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that need to be ironed out. But you know what? It's going to take time, guys, man. It's not a quick fix. And ultimately,
can you change Garnacho into a wing back?
They're 2 years into their project. They've gone from League One all the way to now. He knows their team. He knows the system. He's built that team to what it is right now. And they've done a lot of training, man, more than us. We've had 1 week of training, man. 1 week.
And only 2 days with the actual whole squad. Just quickly, let me get these super chats up.
Can you translate? Okay, cool.
Let me get these super chats out. It's quite
no
a few. Shout out, Mr. Ipswich. He says, we humbled ya. We should have won convincingly. He was in the chat like last week saying, listen, you're coming Portman Road, you wait. And he was pretty much right. Kyle says, so to your example, Dalot inverts instead of going wide. Isn't that an acknowledgement of Erik ten Hag then? His attack used narrow and inverted wide men. Well, yeah, it is. That's what the system was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what the system was. That's exactly what it is, an acknowledgement of Erik ten Hag. Max says, Dalot frustrated me yesterday watching some replays. I saw a lot of our players hiding from the ball, leaving him stranded. Ruben mentioned players not opening up for passes when defenders had the ball. And that's exactly what we saw with our eyes with Dalot. Dalot started really well. Then they started backing him into a corner and saying, well, where are you going to play this ball now? Because he's got to stay high and wide. And then he had to just kept putting the ball into central midfield with this clip pass into Ericsson, who ain't going to do nothing with it. And we turned it over. And then his confidence went from then. And then he started second guessing himself. So it's a system thing. Panda says KG is right. It feels like anytime KG raises a good point, Owen and Flex shuts him down. Maybe if it was Kenny making the exact same point, y'all will agree. Well, no, KG's first point was that he thinks
some shady undertones.
Yeah.
Down.
Really? I just disagree. I won't just agree because you think I should agree. If KG says
that's the audience. If that's how the audience, it's how the audience watch it. That's right.
It's not the audience. It's one person called Panda. Is who it is. It's not the audience.
Agenda right there, bro. Sounds like a agenda right there.
McCipher says United players' value is inflated by badge, not quality. Decent shout that. And Michael says, let's be honest, we are not as good as we think. We definitely know that. It's going to take years. I do want to say, though, I'm massively impressed with Amorim so far. Every time he speaks, he makes sense and he just gets it. And Lil Yo-Yo says, a certain manager has bloody hands for this squad. Yeah, he's built it, mate. Joseph says, you laughed at Kenny on Martinez being injury prone. Yeah, but apparently we just agree with everything Kenny says.
Yeah.
There you go.
KG, say Martinez injury prone. KG, just go say Martinez injury prone.
I think Martinez could be.
I disagree, KG. Can't say that. Disagree. No chance.
Stop KG.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this Luke
Johnny
Shaw
Evans,
thing,
man,
depending on
I can't
who.
do Johnny
No,
Evans.
he's not meant to be playing there, bro. He's not meant to be playing
Bro,
there. We just had no one. And look, Luke Shaw came on at 55 minutes and played 40 minutes. That's
Yeah.
probably the maximum we could have managed being out that long, to
Yeah.
be fair. And Johnny Evans had a tough time. Kyle says, KG is simple. Diallo played from the back, then Rashford ruined it. Arsenal failed without Odegaard. City loses without Rodri. One player can ruin ball. Yeah, we're not
I'm
at that
seeing
level.
that
I'm
in
saying
this system.
one
In
guy.
that system stuff.
Bad example.
People saying that system.
That's
I've been hearing that recently. That's been a new conversation. One player can spoil it all if you ain't got him in there.
Depends how polished you are. We're not that.
Odegaard with Arsenal, wasn't it? He was out the team for like a couple of months. They just didn't win.
Roger.
Yeah.
Roger.
Semex Football says Ineos need to spend on players in prime, not just youngsters, and they need to spend big because this squad ain't it. Will they spend big, or will Ashworth worry more about bargains and youth investment? 5 young players are enough. And so Ryan says we passed so slowly out the back, it fell flat from there. We never beat the press. That was the issue. The centre back had more of the ball than the 6 and 10.
You see where Amorim was willing them to go forward near the end of the game. He's like, that way you
go.
Yeah,
so we've got a lot of stinky bad habits that in
Hoyland started dribbling backwards. He got the ball, he went past 2 players, but I was like, no, the goal's that way. And he was dribbling that way, and I was like, pass the ball forward. I was going mental those last 10 minutes.
Starlord says, big up absolutely everyone. Smash the like button. Boom. And K Flow says, it's going to be tough, lads. And Alice, these lot play like they only started to play footy. We are smack in the middle of the season and we still need Europa for revenue. These lot make football so difficult. And Ravel Burns says, missed my first super chat. Oh, let me go back there.
Apologies.
Sorry, Ravel. Apologies, bro. That's been a lot of stuff there going on. There's been 15. There you go. Ravel said right at the top of the show, he said, would love Ammad to play as a 10, but I think he and Mazraoui are the only players that can play wing back. Dalot has been so bad. Dalot's not had a great season. I think he started the game really well yesterday.
He's tired, man. He's tired.
Yeah, and just the demands of what's going on. Before I hand back over to the panel and we carry on the discussion, where are we at? We're at 2,200 watching. We're at 527 likes. Peeps, 1K likes, man. 1K likes. Like, we got over 2K watching. 1K likes should be an absolute minimum. So please, mods, keep on to that. Yeah, it's a disgrace. It's a cheat. Mods, keep on to that. Keep encouraging people to like up the video.
You're a cheat.
Haven't heard that in its entirety for a while.
Yeah, that's
the
been
original.
I'll play it again. I'll play it again, mate.
You're an absolute disgrace. You're a cheat.
That is so goated. It's never gonna die. The king says manager had a week. We are going to suffer first, 100%. And Dillian White, too much talking. Stop the talking. Says, I wonder how long until KG says, what about Xerxes, guys? Shameless. KG, do you wanna discuss that?
KG, do you want to say about Xerxes? Decide, want to defend Xerxes? I know both of them got very strong opinions on Xerxes.
Is it every week we did Xerxes?
I'm not talking about Xerxes. I want to know if we can change Garnacho into a wing back. That's what I'm interested in.
Can you just answer that? Like, so you don't have anything to say about Xerxes? Cool, nothing.
Me?
Yeah.
What about you, Flex? Do you have anything to say about Xerxes?
Yeah, I think that is very early in his Man United career. He's struggling. He looks like he doesn't know where he is. He needs time. We need to let the system cook. I'm gonna wait for my overall judgment to be at the end of the season. At the beginning, it doesn't look like it's for him. For me, it just doesn't look like it's for him. Rasmus Højlund, there's limitations there, but I think he's got a bit more about him because he's a bit more direct and he'll shoot on sight. But Xerxes in the 10 positions, he wants intensity. When he came on at the 10, I looked at us even more and I went, not sure how that's going to work. But we have to give him a full year at least. Let the manager work with him and let's see.
I'm calling them Devon and Baba Ray, fam. That's the Dudley boys, bro. That's our strikers up front, bro. Xerxes get the table, fam. Them lot just, they're playing anything but yes, bro. It's Devon and Baba Ray, fam. I don't know, bro. I pray to God that these two can get their acts together, but I'm scared, bro.
Yeah, because when you look at the front line, it's dead. I'm not gonna.
It's get the table, bro. When they both came on, I thought, and he was giving them in like Amorim was proper talking to both of them. Højlund was just staring at the pitch, ready to go on, and I don't even know what Xerxes was thinking. when he was talking to him because he was mad
I
at him.
didn't
He
like
said,
he was screaming. I didn't look like he was angry for some reason.
bro, get the table, bro. Them two. That's the.
There was Owen Hargreaves. Did you see what Owen Hargreaves was saying? He was saying he was standing behind him, and he was saying that along with, I think he was talking about Dallow. I think it might have been Hoyland as well, saying he was standing behind him, and basically as the game was going on, Amorim was sort of getting more and more frustrated. But what I did like, speaking of Xerxes though, and Hoyland to an extent, is I did like that Amorim made early subs. I was so caught off guard by that yesterday because we're so not used to it. Like 55 minutes go, nope, change it, I'd do something. 10 minutes later, change it again. So at least that's a recognition even from him of like, it's not working, or I've got to try these different players. So it would be more concerning if in the press conference yesterday or in the interviews afterwards, he was just like, no, I thought we did really, really well, and there's not too much to improve. We'll get there. He was very open of like, no, it's going to take time. And I think it was kind of what Alison Side was saying earlier on is he knows. I think he's seen, even after a few training sessions, he knows some of those players of like, it's not going to work with some of those players, to be honest with you. But I've just got to try and do what I can until an extra transfer window.
2 seconds before we go to the Garnacho thing, and then Alice, I want to see your thoughts because KG was going to ask a Garnacho thing, so we'll go with that. But 2 seconds, Jaden, big up to you. On StreamYard, for some reason, it doesn't come up with the members chat. So I went into the back end so I can see what you were saying there for your members chat. You've been a member for 26 months as well, Jaden. So big up to you. Appreciate that, bro. And what you said earlier was, I'm sorry, Rashford is not it. That body language is so disgusting for a United player. We have no midfield yesterday, and it was so evident. And also Ibrahim.
I'm going to defend that, man. I don't think his body language was bad yesterday.
You don't think it was that bad yesterday? A lot of
I can't lie, man. There's a sign on Rashford, but I can't lie. I don't think he did anything bad yesterday. I thought he tried to run down the channels. I thought he tried to run around. He tried to do something, but I think all in all, it just wasn't working for the United team. And
nothing was created for him.
I can't fault commitment yesterday. And
going forward, we had no clue, did it? That we was not an attacking force. All of them were just clueless. Ibrahim says, having a manager that can articulate himself and be honest with the fans is so nice. I watch the press conferences now. It was refreshing to hear him after that. And Ibrahim has also joined the latest member of the UV Members Club as well. So shout out to you, Ibrahim. KG, what are you saying about this Garnacho thing? And then let's see what Alice is saying about
Alice. No, I just wanted to ask Alice if we could turn him into a wing back because I know people are not feeling him as an inside 10.
Do you know what? When I was doing my predicted Amorim 11s and how we could use stuff, I had Ammad in the front three and Garnacho as a wing back because I look at our winger profiles and I always said that Garnacho and Anthony are more touchline wingers. They're better at wide, but they've also been known for being a little bit better in terms of their sort of work rate down the wings, a little bit defensively, Anthony and Garnacho. Whereas Ammad and Rashford have always sort of been known to do their best work closer to goal. Rashford, when he stays high, closer to goal. Ammad at Sunderland sort of played as almost a right-sided number 10. He's more of a profile like Saka, who actually sometimes is a touchline winger, but he's got elements of Saka and Cole Palmer in his profile in terms of he operates best in the right half space. So because Ammad and Rashford seem to do their best work centrally when they play, and I think Garnacho and Anthony have sort of been touchline wingers under Ten Hag, I always thought, okay, Garnacho and Anthony will be the wing backs. Ammad and Rashford will probably be the ones that are in the front three. So I was actually quite surprised that Ammad was at right wing back. I wasn't totally surprised because I think Ammad this season has been quite very good. And I think that, if you look at Kenda, he plays right wing back. He's probably more of a right winger. But I personally myself could see Garnacho or Anthony being put maybe left wing back and then having Delo right wing back, Mazraoui right centre back. Potentially, because I do think that Garnacho is a little bit better when he's further out wide than in the central areas because he gets closed down a lot quicker centrally.
Yeah. What are you not saying to that?
You think he can?
I don't know.
Do you think what's a wing back, Garnacho?
I don't think he's got the explosiveness. I don't think he's got the ball carrying ability. I don't think he's got the intelligence. And ultimately, you need them 3 key attributes in that position. We're talking about Dalot that couldn't do that. Dalot is someone I think is very, very good in terms of ball carrying. He couldn't do it yesterday to a large extent. So I think for me, man, I'll be real with you, man. Garnacho is one of them situations where the manager needs to just put him as an impact player because he's not a 10. In them 10 roles, you have to be quick and smart and you got to know when to release the ball. He doesn't know when to do that. And unfortunately, like you said, it's similar profile to Rashford in the way they want to play. And you can't have that as well if you're going to have Rashford up front. But yeah, I think for me, I don't think it's a solution in that left-hand role. Wing-back role he is in as well. It comes then to who do you then play? It's quite funny. I always said for me, Kobe Mainu can be playing that position. I think he could do something in there, especially in the left-hand role. Wing-back role, it's going to literally be Anthony. I'm going to say, obviously you've got Ammad that played now. Mazarawi, if you can do. Malacia is another one example. Them guys, you can do that, but I just think with Garnacho, bench player at best. That's what I would say for me personally.
But you know what?
Should be coming in and out.
You know why it's tough though? I will say almost disagree because do you know the Kobe in the 10 thing? Yeah, like those guys in the 10 need to be high intensity and press and stop them from getting out so we can win the ball high up the pitch like a sporting side do. And I don't know if Kobe is gonna give you high intent like Mason now. We know, no, he will in midfield. It'll be different. His role is a bit.
It's more demand. It's more demand.
I get it's but he wants to press from the top. Like they want to win the ball back high. And I think if you have Mount and Ammad, you already know they're gonna join the attacker and they'll try to win the ball back. And at least Ugarte and Kobe could probably step forward, the guy at the midfield next to him. I think if you're asking Kobe to be that intensity, high impact player,
we had yesterday. Hold on a minute. We literally had one of probably 3 of our best pressers here in Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno. In terms of they will actually try and run at you. So we had that, and we left the midfield exposed.
But they didn't press though. They weren't even pressing.
They did it to an extent where when because Ipswich were that good, they were actually that good at trying to. See Hutchinson,
that's their game.
Easily, they were good at setting traps. So then, when we did press, they got Hutchinson on the ball on the half turn, and they went past our midfielders like they weren't there. I think that's the problem as well. We had no legs in midfield. That's why when Ugarte came on, we actually did well with Ugarte when he came on second half. It was a little bit more kind of almost controlled in that aspect. We didn't get ran through a lot. So I'm looking at that point. I'm like, midfield, we literally had no legs. And Kobe Maino, I'm sorry, but he lacks physicality in there in terms of midfield. You know,
but I'm comparing it. I'm only comparing it. And there's someone in the chat saying, stop criticizing our players. We're just talking on the red
we're just talking.
Yeah, we've got to talk about the solutions.
And it's not because people go like, it's only been a couple of games, have patience. And I think, to be fair, the majority of United fans, everyone here, I would say, is not freaking out after yesterday, being like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? I think it's just
about the game.
You're just analyzing it, aren't you? You're just sort of going, "Well, this is what I see happening yesterday. These are this is why it doesn't fit, and this is what the manager might be thinking as well."
Yeah,
literally, because the main thing that I was trying to mention though, when I'm talking about Tencent, not to critique if you're listening. My main thing is I've seen where Kobe is not the most athletic. And if I'm trying to compare ourselves to a sporting side, you need to press up on them. Like that part that we did when we was getting through the stats and we're saying, listen, Ipswich won the ball back 7 times in the final third. We only won it back 3 times. That is not the standard that he's on. That's why his frustration was, I want that ball. He spoke about the 6 and he's naming their players that are on the ball and allowed to do what they want. Then he spoke about Hutchinson, Amari as well. And he's like, this guy's just swanning around. There's so much space.
Remember when he got it back and he's like, what should they do that? I was like, he shouldn't get that ball back in that little half space. Yeah. You know, when he did score. And that wasn't the first time he was getting the ball in that right half space. Like, he kept doing it time. And they are, exactly.
They were literally, we were trying to go and squeeze him on the pitch. I was watching the game, guys. I don't know why the chat's moving mad.
We didn't squeeze Saeed.
No. Hold on a minute. We were literally trying to, with Garnacho and Bruno, try and squeeze up the pitch here. We even had Evans and everyone trying to even squeeze up the pitch even more further forward. But guess what happened? They were good at setting traps. Hutchinson, Samodics, they came out to press well. They're a good organized team. They're actually a good team. Like, guys,
did anyone in their team get targeted like the low did? But did anyone in their team get targeted like the low did? As soon as the low was in that ball, we had to do, and then we had to do that clipped one. We give it to Onana, and Onana goes long into Rashford, and they forced. They got that. Yeah. They did that for fun. That was like a normal thing.
Well, it's because they're a better unit than us.
Exactly, that's it.
Like they are. They are a better.
They're set up really well.
Coach than us. They don't have bad stinky habits like we do.
Exactly.
Yes, they might have individuals who aren't as good on paper, which is why they're 18th, or that's why they're fighting to stay in the league. But their system and the way it's applied, That's how they're able to visually, when you watch them, and when we knew before we played them, we knew what to expect. The reason why we knew what to expect is because they've been doing that over and over and over again, year in, year out, game in, game out, with Kieran McKenna. And he's a good coach. So on one hand, you can say, yeah, exactly. They're better than their points suggest. And on one hand, you can say, but we're Man United. We're not supposed to do it's Ipswich. Their team called Ipswich. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but for football, pound for pound right now, they're a lot closer to us than we think in terms of how they are, which is why we need a coach like Amorim so that our shit gets repetitive. Our shit has routines. Our players know what to do. And it was game 1 after training session 3 with the whole team. Like it's
Spurs in the last game. Spurs just gone to the Etihad and beat Man City. You know, they can't be all terrible, can they? You know, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
They've played, so they've played Aston Villa, Man United, and Spurs. I know they played Liverpool first game of the season. And let's be honest, first game of the season, that first 45 minutes, like Arnold scratched his head, and he had to change it. And the quality shone through.
Got rid of his centre back, didn't he?
Yeah, he took out Quansah. He said, "Nah, mate, we're losing."
They've had one batter in this season, I think, and that was against West Ham.
Yes, and West Ham, that's just an anomaly because look at the state of West Ham.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they gave Villa, Highline, Emery, wicked manager, everything. They deserve to win. Gave them a game. Them man, they come out sweating. They played Spurs on their own back door, beat them. Like they're a decent side. So I'm not saying that they're amazing and we shouldn't be beating them. I get that, but this version of ourselves that's coming out of Eric Ten Hag for 2 years. We look at the state of us. That's coming out of Ruud van Nistelrooy for 4 games, and then now the new head coaches come with all these different ideas. What did we expect to see at Portman Road? I don't.
Let's be honest. Yeah, we've last couple of games. Yeah, we played PAOK at Old Trafford, which was one of the worst games of football I've ever seen. Terrible. We beat Leicester 3. We beat Leicester 3 at Old Trafford. Leicester just sat their manager because they're shit. They're rubbish. Yeah. You know, so
they're the worst
we shouldn't be shocked that we play Ipswich, who are a well-drilled, tactically set up side. We're like, oh, we look a bit off it, don't we, guys? Obviously,
Ruben Amorim could have won that. And then we could have been back to reality against Ipswich. And then everyone would be like, oh, panicking.
100%. So. I think Amorim would have won the games Ruud won. Like, Leicester
let's be honest.
Pants,
awful.
Honestly.
Awful.
Like, they have more points than Ipswich, I think. But, like, when you watch it on the eye, you're like, Leicester, I don't know how they got points in that game and that game. And how did Ipswich not get points in this game and this game? And I said before the game, I thought it was going to be 2-1 win. I thought we'd win it. Maybe we'd have a bit of that new manager up for it a bit, but we didn't cover the ground we needed to cover. The intensity lacked a bit, and I think, you know, maybe in a weird way, us starting with a draw will put everyone in a bit of reality check of, look, this is going to be a long-term project. And the thing that reassured me massively was Ruben Amorim's comments after the match. I think he saw everything. He made the subs early, which was great to see. I think, you know, Shaw and Agate coming on for Evans and Casemiro did improve us. I think they were 2 subs that probably needed to be made. He took those risks. And then after the match, he said, yeah, physically we lacked because we did in the first half. He said we got better in the second half, but he pointed out, you know, that Xerxes needs to get in the box more. He pointed out that Mazraoui was good, that Onana was good, that Ammad was good. He gave them credit, and all the positives and all the negatives. He was aware that we weren't creating the chances or the intensity lacked. And he will be more than aware of the fact that he's going to need 4 or 5 signings that are going to be athletic. He's going to need to coach this team into scoring goals. And I think, you know, if we go back to Kieran McKenna, one thing, you know, camera's just turned itself off, but Kieran McKenna, I think, is a fantastic coach because he's took some of those Ipswich players to League One into the Premier League and got some of them playing in the Premier League. And that is because of a coached, well-drilled system where he's utilised the profiles. I think Amorim's job, because he might not get a load of money in January, I don't think there's going to be much happening in January, to be honest, is how can he get this team scoring goals? He's going to be looking at this and saying, they're not scoring goals. How can I set them up and use the best profiles in the best positions to maybe get goals while drilling in my ideas? And then in the summer, that's when he's going to get to work. Because I know that, to be honest, I don't think many people in the squad will be at Man United in 3 years' time. I really don't. I think the 600 million spent, it's been pretty bad, you know.
I like what you said about, he said this line about how he's going to train the players, and the ones that didn't play are going to be doing the training and stuff. Then he's going to bring them. So we're going to see a lot of rotation. So, you know, when you're saying what's his best team, I think he's going to be working that out with these games. Like,
so 5 to 10 games. He said
definitely when the team started yesterday, nowhere near. Like in 15 games time, it will be, this was Ruben Amorim's first starting 11. This is the current starting 11, and it will be massively different to the one that started yesterday.
Yeah, I like that you said that.
Yeah.
To finish off on the super chats, Eminem says only one game after 2 training sessions. We need to calm. A lot of our players' problems, can be fixed by looking up and passing. Eric Ten Hag left us with a lot of bad habits, and that's just what it is: bad habits. New instructions, new information. Shit, this isn't autonomous to me. What do I do? And when you hesitate in the Premier League, it don't matter whether you're playing against bottom or top. Like there's a lot of that. Plus, there's some players who are good.
Well, let's not rewrite history. These lot haven't ran. Eric first game, and he made them come in for double training because they didn't run enough.
Yep.
So
that's true. But then 600 million later, it's not all the same players.
I hear it, but I'm just saying that, like, these men are not running.
Bad traits, and until we weed them out, i.e., like you say, new players as well, we ain't gonna see it. He's got to dismantle quite a lot of that. I think eventually, I do. Renee says, "I'll be honest. Any criticism at Joshua Zirkzee is unjust. When did we stop giving new signings a grace period? Evra and Vidic were given time. Everyone, calm down." Ibrahim has gifted. Not only did he just join the UV members club, he's gifted it to someone else as well to join him. So big up to you. Shout out to you, Ibrahim. Ben says KG disagrees with Saeed every time. I'm here for it. And Ibrahim says Amorim has me joining memberships and gifting subs. I believe in the manager. Don't stress yourself, guys. All right. Bare positivity from Ibrahim tonight. Big up to you. Nicole says Rashford pressed Saeed. Rashford pressed Saeed. What are you on about?
No, I'm talking about yesterday. That's it.
Okay. All right.
I
think Nicole might be talking about yesterday as well.
Yeah.
I think she is.
She said he didn't. Yeah. She said he pressed.
That was such a defeated from Saeed. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, maybe we did a different game, but I seen a bit more intent yesterday. But listen, it didn't work. Ipswich were very good at coming out the traps. So.
Yeah, okay. I'm a Saeed. I don't think Rashford's was as bad as people online are making out. I think he gets no service in the striker role. He made the runs. The one chance he got, he scored. And when you're a striker, that's what you've got to do. He could improve, but I think, I could name 5 players that were more underwhelming.
So what was your match rating for him? Because me and Flex had an interesting conversation. I tried to give him a 6 because of his goal and that. What are you lot giving him? Just out of interest.
Probably a 6. Yeah, I would
give him a 5.
You tried to use, was it lower than 5?
I said 5. No, I gave him a 5 because he scored a goal. And then after that, he wasn't there. Yeah, I don't think he was involved at all. Yeah, I don't think he was.
I feel like nobody who plays striker's involved for us. It doesn't matter who plays striker; they're never involved. And I think it is more of a system problem than an individual problem that Amorim will need to fix.
M. Sati says Eric Ten Hag brought us 2 trophies. Most fans are entitled, not acknowledging that. Now they expect Amorim to do wonders ASAP, as he said. This year is sufferings. And Lenny Lolo, I'm going to say. Lelanolo, I'm going to say. Lenilolo. Shout out. Is Owen gone? Owen's gone, guys.
Yeah, Owen's gone.
He's buzzed out. He hasn't got the M4. He hasn't got the M4 fizzy. Oh, they're all dropping like flies, guys, with their M3s. First KG. Now, Owen, look at me.
No, I was editing. I'm back.
I could do everything.
I was editing. I'm back.
Look at me. Look at Owen. Look at KG at the start.
I've been able to hear you the whole time. This is very strange.
Well, no, it's not strange.
I've got
the little signal.
He's gone again. Owenology. That is crazy. Don't even sound right. Owenology.
How many new players do you guys think you need?
Owen, do this.
I'd rather not.
He's still going. Oh, you finished? Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Shut. Are you still talking? Oh, we'll wait. Oh, we stopped now. Oh, no. Footy Hub says, why is nobody talking about Amorim saying he has 2 positions for Mason Mount? Which 2 positions? 10 and maybe one further back, I'd say. I didn't know he said that, but I would say I can't see him as a wing back, so I'd say a 10 and one of the 2 central midfielders. If they had to. Rodder says, can United waste another season as others improve? No, but we have to suffer. Footy Hub says, one thing I like about his press conferences so far is the level of honesty. No bad performances will be defended under the guise of it's a process. Yeah, he's not just giving
10 and bench. You said 10 and bench.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's rude. And Sir Ryan says, clear out Deadwood. We are obsessed. We got Eric Ten Hag, 21 players. That's a full squad. Klopp got 14 players at Liverpool in the first 3 years. And David G says, Rashford found out what it was like being Rasmus when your midfielders don't support you. Only a prime Drogba could play solo in a team like ours. There's no service. You can do it yourself. Footy, that's a crazy player, that is. Footy Hub says, if you play ball, you'll know effort on the day and football IQ matters more than ability. Rashford is all ability and no application. So strong words there from Footy Hub. Where did we get to likes wise? We got to 779 peeps. We still should have hit the 1K. I ain't gonna lie to you, look, we should have hit the 1K, but it's all love. It's all love. It's been a big show. It's been a lot.
You're cheat.
As KG just said there, exactly. Big up for everyone for watching. Lively show. Good energy, good comments. That's what it's all about. Shout out Owen Wrestle News 36555. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Describe. Unsubscribe. Describe. Make sure you describe it. So what is it about? You know.
Yeah. Stuff.
KG, that comedian. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Links in the description there. And Saeed TV and Alice Talks Football. And listen, Adam's not here today, but go show love to his channel as well. Guys, big show. Tomorrow, Flexing KG show. It's a busy week. We're looking forward to the Bolo Glimt game. Ruben Amorim's first home game as well. So everyone's looking forward to that. His first game under the lights at Old Trafford. So we'll be there to support him and vice versa. We are out of here, guys. Take care. See you on the next episode of The Red Carpet. And we'll see you in the morning for the morning view. Peace.